Welcome to another episode of the Salesforce BA Hub podcast. Today, we will address managing changes in increasingly complex Salesforce releases. This topic is particularly essential for those preparing for the Salesforce Business Analyst certification exam, as it will give you a deep understanding of how to handle elaborate Salesforce environments effectively. First, let's talk about version control. Version control systems are a kind of software that helps us track and manage changes to our codebase. They're incredibly beneficial for change set releases, and let me share a real-world example to illustrate why. For our real-world example today, let's consider a mid-sized company using Salesforce for its CRM needs. Multiple teams are working on various components of their Salesforce org, all simultaneously making changes and updates. In one instance, the marketing team needed to make a significant update to their lead scoring model, which required adjustments to various fields, workflows, and validation rules. At the same time, the sales team was working on a separate project to optimize their opportunity management process, which also involved changes to some overlapping fields and workflows. Without version control, these changes could easily conflict, leading to errors, confusion, and wasted effort to identify and correct the issues. However, by using version control, each team could work on their projects independently, with a clear understanding of what changes were being made, by whom, and when. When the marketing team was ready to deploy their changes, they could use the version control system to check for any conflicts with changes made by the sales team. They discovered that the sales team had updated a validation rule that would conflict with their new lead scoring model. Because they caught this ahead of time, they were able to collaborate with the sales team and adjust their changes accordingly, avoiding a potential issue in production. This example shows how using version control can help manage changes effectively, reduce errors, and promote collaboration between teams. It clearly illustrates why version control is a critical change management component in increasingly complex Salesforce releases. When discussing managing changes in Salesforce, two models often come up: the change set model and the org development model. Both these models have their unique characteristics, but they also share some similarities. The change set model is Salesforce's native solution for deploying changes between orgs. It allows you to group related changes, such as custom objects, fields, and layouts, and move them together from one org to another. This model is often used by organizations that have a straightforward development process and do not require complex versioning or branching. On the other hand, the org development model is used in conjunction with version control systems like Git, which provide additional capabilities for tracking changes and managing versions. In this model, you work in a dev org, make changes, and then use a tool like Salesforce CLI to extract those changes into a version control system. From there, you can manage your changes, create branches, merge changes, and deploy your changes to other orgs. So, what do they have in common? Both models are focused on deploying changes between Salesforce orgs. They both provide ways to group related changes and move them from one environment to another. And both models are designed to help manage the complexity of changing configurations in Salesforce, albeit in different ways. In a real-world scenario, an organization might start with the change set model because of its simplicity and direct integration with Salesforce. As their development process becomes more complex, they might shift to the org development model to take advantage of version control systems and more sophisticated change management processes. Remember, choosing the right model depends on your organization's needs, the complexity of your Salesforce environment, and your team's capabilities. It's about finding the right balance for your unique situation. Thanks for tuning into this episode. Remember, managing changes effectively in complex Salesforce releases is a crucial skill for every Salesforce professional. So keep practicing, keep learning, and see you in the next episode.